Hey, what's happening? Tim with Nomad Trading. On an incredibly frustrating Tuesday, for me anyway. Runner recap. Big losing day recap for me. I'm pretty angry at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in that place where I just want to keep trading and try to trade myself out of this hole. Yeah, kind of like how Ross was feeling the other day, several days in a row, and now here I am. And I had calculated, I knew today was going to be the day. I almost didn't trade today because I just felt like it was going to be a red day. I've had 21 green days in a row, made a few $1,000s, and then I have a big red day today and wipe out several of those days of gains. So that's the wonderful spot that I'm in. Hopefully, you guys are having a better day than me. Make sure you hit the like button if you are in here and chat it up in the chat room. Little thing over there. Say, hey, what's up? Tell me about what you traded. Give it a like. Honestly, don't even want to do this recap right now. I'm too mad. But I'm in here, you know, got to show the bad days with the good days. So today is a crappy day for me. Lost 76 bucks in this E-Trade account. I'll go over my trades first while I watch this ridiculous insanity that is GRTS right here. Uh, Going up even more. I mean, it's completely insane. From this is a $10 move from right here to right here. Just ridiculous. I'll talk about that here in a second since that's the one that I lost most of my money on. Anyway, first trade today was on ACRS. On this one, I was on the right track. I just stopped out. So I lost 76 bucks. I took, what was it, 250 shares maybe? Yeah, 250 shares on this account. Had the right idea with this right here. I could see that it was up on the day, kind of a bullish pennant situation, so I had my trend lines. I tried to take the trade a little bit early down here, thinking it was going to break that trend line on this move right here as it consolidated tighter, but it did not. Instead, it bounced off that trend line, popped right down, stopped me out because I had a pretty tight stop on that. I don't know, felt like it was up a lot on the day and felt like it could come down, so I wanted to keep my stop fairly tight in case there's a big flush. Anyway, yeah, stopped me out, and then only 2 minutes later, I guess it'd be probably 20 or 30 minutes later, it actually broke and went up, and that's the trade that I should have taken. Got in a little bit early and stopped out. So that's pretty much what happened there. It did present a pretty decent setup right there. It had a decent setup over here, kind of a VWAP bounce right here. Bull flag slash VWAP bounce would have been the move right there. Again here, bull flag and then a nice move up. So had a few different little bullish opportunities. Yeah, didn't take advantage of that. So that was my first trade, down 76 bucks. No big deal. That's where I like to keep it for the day. I try to make $100 a day and try to lose 100 or 200 and keep it in that range. So that at that point we were manageable, not that big a deal. Then GRTS. I click over and I'm looking at GRTS, and this was way down here. And let's see, I can bring over my trades here in a second. No, I never got a good scanner, Dave. What's up, guys? So, yeah, let's see. Let me see my trades here. So I lost $625 on the CMEG account. That's why I'm pretty angry at the moment. Overall, I'm down over $700 with commissions, well over $700. I had that day, what was it, a week or two ago, where I made like 700 and some dollars. So yeah, completely wiped out that day. One of my biggest green days that I've had in several weeks. I completely wiped out with GRTS stupidity. Did not play it well, and honestly, the stock is just ridiculous anyway. I should have been thinking long, but at no point did I really. I kind of switched long bias over here, but at that point, I mean, you're really chasing it. It's complete insanity for the stock to be up where it is on BS news. So, it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty mad about it. I don't take $600 loss days anymore. That's a thing of the past. So I'm pretty frustrated, as most traders are whenever you have a string. Like I said, I had 21 green days in a row, made a few $1,000s, and then turn around and give back 700 and some dollars of it in one day is just ridiculous. That's the stupid rookie crap that got me to losing a ton of money back when I started trading. So yeah, pretty frustrated. The trades I took, let me see if I can grab that and bring it over here. So yeah, bad day. So yeah, whoops, damn it. I don't know what I'm doing here. Didn't mean to do that. So yeah, you can see all my trades right here. So I was thinking, if you look on over here, down here on the daily chart, you can see that there's somewhat of resistance at 1586, kind of topped out there in a couple spots, double top. It got through that, so that was a bullish thing. But then as it approached up here, this is where I thought it would stop, maybe in this $19 area. So right here would have been the next possible resistance. Mind you, this is up on news of nothing. I mean, the news is that they're pushing ahead on their COVID-19 vaccine. So it's got the right words in the title, but it's not like they got FDA approval or something amazing. They just, all they did was say that they were pushing ahead on that vaccine. So the news is not much of anything. It's got a 30-some million float, so the float's relatively low, but not tiny. So anyway, was thinking around that 19 range would be where it would top out. And mind you, the stock, if we look at yesterday, was way down here in the sixes. So the gap up alone was a big move from 6 to almost over 10 at one point. Pulls back, comes back up, fades again below VWAP. So really nothing that exciting about. And then the breakout came. I did not see the breakout. It wasn't until it kind of formed this cup and handle here that I saw it. So on the daily here, we formed somewhat of a cup and handle as it curled off of VWAP, formed its handle to handle. Not really a true cup and handle, because it would have ideally been a little higher, then come down to kind of retest the highs and then go up. So I felt a little more bearish on it because of how low the handle, if you want to call that, was. And at this point, we're up, from $6 yesterday to over double that. So I'm thinking, okay, the stock's up a lot. It's kind of got this pattern going on, but it's probably going to play out. So around that area is where it started having trouble. Let me get my thing again here. So my thinking was it kind of formed that, played out, had a nice big move. It's going to start fading at this point. That would be the logical thought. So I started shorting it in here, and you can see I shorted it several times. Now it doesn't look as I gotta keep losing that damn chart. Hold on a second. It's not what I was trying to do. So yeah, I was trying to short it up in that area below 19, and I would short it, and then I would just cover it because it wouldn't really do what I wanted it to do. I short it again, cover it, and then as it's starting to go up towards that 19, I'm thinking, all right, yeah, everything's going to play out nicely. We're way up on the day. We're going into the end of the day probably going to be having a nice big move down. So I start shorting it, and of course it does not do that. It just keeps going. I stop out. Then I took one last shot at it here and just took 100 shares up here at like 22.50, because at that point, I mean, it's just ridiculous. It had already gone up that much, and then this little move right here was like $4 or something in a matter of a couple minutes. So I'm thinking I'll just take one last shot at it. I did. Ended up covering half of it or 25 shares of it or whatever here for a win on that, but then it starts ripping again, so I ended up covering the last piece up here. And mind you, in this short amount of time, it had ripped up that much because of the spread after hours and the fact that there's lower volume. And like I've said in many videos, after hours can be where you really get the big moves. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I got to just cut it. And by the time I could even get out of it, I mean, the thing was moving like $1 a minute. Insanity. So, yeah, that's what happened to me. And ultimately down $625 in that account, 76 in this. So just a complete crap day. 21 green days in a row just to wipe out a ton of those gains in one big mistake on this one ridiculous stock that is now up at $26, up $20 on the share. So one of those awesome unicorns that I just got on the wrong side of. That's the way it goes. So anyway, that's kind of my story for the day. Up 3,500 mainly on OTCs. Jay Dubman just been killing it lately. I'm going to get set up, start trading micro E-mini futures along with my options trading, not day trading right now. Gotcha. Makes sense. You're not alone, my friend. Yes, I'm sure there's many idiots like me that have lost money today. It's just very frustrating. Anyway. So yeah, pretty mad. Didn't want to do the recap today. I'm just mad. And I wanted to keep shorting it up here. Even at 27 and 28, I'm watching it and just thinking, like, this is ridiculous. I want to short it now. And I haven't. This is probably when it's going to have the ridiculous drop that I've been looking for all day. Now that I'm watching it and I'm emotional and I'm, stopping myself from taking any more trades, because it's, I definitely don't want to be losing $1,000 on the day. And that could happen relatively easily if I just take one or two more trades. So I'm just watching it. But yeah, it's insane. It's going to be a crazy good short at some point in time, because like I said, the news is just fluffy, ridiculous news, and it's up insane. Up here $20 on the day, over $20 up from yesterday. So it's crazy. 310% on the day today. Yeah, I'm just really frustrated with it. Really want to keep shorting it. Want to ride it back down, but I know that if I take a position short, it could easily jump back up, and this right here is why it's ridiculous. You're talking about $2 a share right there. If I were to short it here and it starts moving at all, I'm going to take a $2 a share loss just right out of the gate, because that's how much it moves. It's got shorts trapped, and it's in this place where it's in unicorn realm of insanity. Anyway, what else was moving? Yeah, stick to your plan. Exactly. My plan was definitely not to lose $600 and some shorting this stupid GRTS stock. Your plan was AMC, but play AALL. What the fuck? Yep, exactly. My plan is definitely not to be shorting into the end of the day on a stock that's been running all day and not really showing weakness. So it was stupid. It was really just kind of a guess more than anything that it was going to run into resistance here at 19. So I'm just thinking that, get that in my head, get that bias in my head, start shorting it. And the stock says, no, we're just going to keep running. And everybody that thinks they can be shorting it at that 19 area and that this stock is way too much up way too much is just going to get squeezed. It's going to come back down. We all know that's going to happen because there's no reason for it to even be up here. But I just can't be risking that and taking that trade. Anyway, what else was moving today? INUV. Yeah, this one traded 254 million shares on the day. It's kind of coming up into what could be resistance here. Kind of curled up, faded all the way back. This is the daily chart down here. Then curled up again and broke out today past that previous high. But again, it's kind of running into an area where there could be resistance. There could be some, this could end up being resistance here. It kind of looks like that's where it's at right now, just hanging around just under 150. And the high of day didn't quite make it to that previous high, but pretty close. So that one would be, it's one to watch because it's got quite a bit of volume, but it's up 124% and getting near these resistance points and consolidation area. Let's see, it says it closed stock offering. Oh, that makes total sense. They closed their stock offering, so the stock's way up. Let's see. Gross proceeds $8 million from offering a $8 million offering. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either. They closed their offering unless the offering was a lot lower than what people thought. Or the price was a lot higher than what people thought it was going to be or something. I don't know. I don't dig too much into the fundamentals and news. But up pretty good on the day at this point. Maybe it will consolidate and keep going. We'll have to watch and see. It does have quite a bit of volume. But again, I would be a little bit cautious with these highs above it. I guess if you could make that 20 cents a share, it'd be a pretty decent scalp. But TRXC was another one I was watching. This one just perfectly following this trend line today until it broke. And that's kind of what I was looking for on that stock that I lost all my money on. Was I kept following that line. I kept thinking, it's going to break. And what I should have done, the smart thing would have been to wait until it breaks that trend and then start shorting it, instead of shorting it before the high of day and just thinking that I knew where the stock was going to top out at. That's where I really messed up. You don't really know where a stock's how high it's going to go. You can try to predict it with probabilities, and technical analysis, but you really don't ever know. So you can't just short on hopes and dreams that it's going to stop in that area. I should have waited and let it get rejected and let it break the trend and then shorted it. This one here, kind of a little bit of a bull pennant situation, like right there, before this nice move from the 330s up to the 390 or so area, so 380, so 50 cents a share. So it did have a pretty decent setup there. Other than that, as far as setups go, would have been probably more of a short, like I said. After this move here, then we'd be looking at it gave up a lot of its gains really quickly, held the trend line, but then it came up and kind of double topped in that same area and then broke that trend, so that would have been a good spot to short it. I doubt you can find shares to short, or at least CMEG doesn't typically. I think that's another reason I was so giddy and overzealous on GRTS, because I can't find shares to short on like all these other stocks that I've been wanting to short. And then this one did have shares over at CMEG, and I'm like, oh, happy day, I got shares to short. I'm gonna definitely short this. And the thinking was it follows that trend line perfectly, just like TRXC. And I thought that when it was having a little trouble there below 19 and with that daily resistance possibly at 19, I thought this is just going to be the perfect setup for this to curl and break that trend line and then come down several dollars, and it'll be a nice winner. But that didn't happen. it just trapped shorts and kept going. So I guess the moral of the story for myself anyway is to actually have a better plan and to trade that plan and to wait for the setup to come to me, not jump in before the setup really takes place. Anyway, let's see what else you guys are saying in the old chat over here. SENS, okay. CLOV, okay. Lots of stocks moving today, huh? SENS. That was one I remember from last week. Yeah, so it had another nice day. Look at that. That's one, I swear I was just watching that a few days ago. Was that moving a few days? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It was under a buck down here in this area, and we had this nice move here up to over $2 at one point. So it kind of consolidated, kind of came down, then out of nowhere. Did we have new news making that happen? Let me see. Yeah, positive coverage decision for them. Enters registered offering to sell 40 million shares at 125. So another offering. I love whenever stocks are moving up on offering. It's just funny. That's another reason why I was shorting that other one, is because I was thinking maybe they would have an offering. But I guess today anyway, there's more than one stock that has had an offering or closed an offering that's moving up. That's a nice move though. I mean, from the ones up to over 3. Let's see if we had so you could have bought the pre-market high. Probably over here on the daily, I would have been watching that 180 or so range to get toppy, but it busted right through that like it was nothing. Didn't even slow it down this morning, and then came down. Could have maybe bought that pullback, but a little bit bigger of a pullback than I would like, and then buying the previous high of day break right there would have been nice, from 230s up into the 280s. So yeah, nice 50-cent scalp would have been good there. Then we probably had somewhat of a pennant situation here where it's kind of consolidated and then breaking out to the upside. Another high of day break here going into the end of the day. So it's got several different moves on it. A bounce off the 50 maybe, because it kind of followed the 50 moving average here in the 5-minute chart. Interesting. And if I go to, yeah, let's see. So we're kind of down testing that $3 range right now and seeing if it can curl back up. Definitely had some nice moves on that. What else do we have? CLOV, somebody said. That one's got some movement. Let's see if we zoom in on the daily. So kind of the first green day there. A lot of down days. And then first green day. Almost like a giant cup and handle, though, the way that it formed the cup. And then went up beyond, then came down, and is kind of testing that, the top of the cup here. I guess you could say that. Maybe it and it kind of bounced off that area, so it kind of found support in that same range. Maybe it bounces further. Possible. Let's see. News now. Clover Health chose a SPAC, not an IPO, to go public. That was 2 days ago. Okay. MSNBF. Shorter price or lower price stock, but gapping up almost double. So that's nice. 70-some percent up on the day. Yeah, 71% as of right now. At one point, 100% up, I would say, from yesterday. So yeah, that's a pretty good gap up. A little gap and go. Not much of a setup today because it kind of just jumped up there. But it did hold above VWAP most of the day. Let's see, VISL. 37 million shares, so this one's got quite a bit of shares traded. A breakout on the daily. Zoom out a little bit more. So possible resistance 266-ish, which looks like right about where it topped off. And then perhaps up there at 3 and 320 something. But it's curling nicely on the daily, having a nice curl up. So that one could keep going. That could be a watch for the following days, or those of you that like to swing, possibly a swing trade situation. Just looking at it on the 5-minute, 3-day time frame. Okay, yeah. What else we got? What else? Anything else? Oh. I feel like I just need to go get some Crown and Coke here in a few moments. Might not do a very long recap here. Might have to go fix myself a drink for the big red day. Biggest red day I've had in months today. So, like I said, I mean, it's very defeating because I've had 21 green days in a row, and emotionally I'm really dealing with that because 21 green days in a row, and I just had a feeling today was going to be the day because I was just telling somebody, yeah, I've been green 21 days in a row. I think it was my little brother. I was talking to him about it. It's like, yeah, finally turning the corner and profitable, and 21 green days without a red day at all. Just having some pretty good luck since all the way back in December, and you know, trading my plan and everything's working out nicely. And then boom, the very next day I have a giant red day. It's almost like it's meant to be. Give those gains back. I'm sure you guys can all know exactly where I'm coming from. If you're watching this chat and you're watching these videos and stuff, it's probably because you're not an amazing trader, which means that you probably had a lot of scenarios like I'm going through right now where you have a string of green days and then you give a bunch of it back in one day. That's probably the most common trader, day trader scenario, or the one that at least that I struggle with for a long time. And then, you know, everybody talks about it. Ross talks about it. Everybody knows that it's like the thing that keeps day traders from making a living at it. You have a whole bunch of red or green days, but then you'll wipe a bunch of them out with just one big red day. You get kind of cocky, I guess, and you get in that mindset that you know what you're doing, and then before you know it, the stock's not doing what you expect, but you're still in that mindset of like all these green days, and I know what I'm doing. It's going to definitely fall right here, and shorting it's a great idea. You just get in that mindset. And then the market humbles you. The market loves to humble you. Can't stop looking at it. And see, if I would have shorted down there, I'm glad that I refrained, because I wanted to short it again and ride the pullback back down. But again, it would have, if I would have shorted, I would have been doing it around 26, and it would have gone to over 27, almost, 27 and a half. I mean, that's a crazy move in itself. You're talking about 25, let's see, the bottom of that's like 25.70, and the top of it is 27.50. So not too far away from $2. And these candles here are definitely $2 in one candle. You got a $2 move. So it's just so, looking back at it, I should have traded it smaller. I should have done a lot of things differently, but I definitely should have just traded it smaller. Took like 50 or 100 shares on it, so that, you know, even this giant move here wouldn't have been a $600 and some loss. But every position I took was 250 shares. I did try scaling in and out at one point, but I was trading 250 share positions the whole time. And when you got a stock that can move $1 or $2 in one candle, that's just not very smart. Real quick, you can be losing the amount of money that I lost. But market's good at that. The good thing is, you know, I just remind myself. I remember I watched Ross's video where he lost 65,000, or maybe it was the one where he was talking about being down 150,000 this month, and I don't trade big enough to ever have losses like that. But I can really relate to him because he was talking to me. You know, you got to kind of almost talk yourself into, you know, it's gonna be okay. I've had winning days. I've had $700 winning days. So, you know, having a $700 losing day, it's not the end of the world. It's a big loss, especially for me, because I try to keep my losses around $100 to $200. I should have stopped, you know, at that point when I was down, you know, 100 or 200. I should have just quit. And that's what my plan is. My plan, and what has worked well to turning the corner in profitability, has been keeping my losses small. And you know, if I get down $100 or $200 on the day, or $300 max, I just quit trading for the day. But for whatever reason today, I didn't do that. I just thought I had this stock's number. I knew what this stock was going to do. You know, I just knew it. There's no way it's going to break 19 and keep going. And if it does, it's not going to break 20. And then here it is at 28, over 28 at one point. Might have even touched 29. No, 28, 50 or so was its high. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. Good news for the channel, those stimulus videos have taken off. The downside of that is that for whatever reason, YouTube pays you way less money. Like my cost per view is pretty good on all the trading videos, but these stimulus videos the cost per view is terrible compared to the trading videos. And so I'm getting like all these views and new subs, which is awesome to have new subs, but I'm getting all these views and they're paying me very little, which is, I don't quite understand why that is. But anyway, it's good for the channel, I guess. I've got like that one video has 8 or 9 or maybe even 10,000 views in a few days on that stimulus video. So if YouTube was paying me what they pay me on my trading videos, it'd be pretty awesome. But anyway, that's just news for the channel there. I'm excited about that. I may continue sprinkling in some stimulus videos because the reality is trading is very niche. So you only get so many viewers and stuff. It's hard to have any kind of a viral type video with trading stuff. But the stimulus stuff everybody talks about, so it kind of brings new eyes to the channel and gets views, which is cool. So if you see those, just ignore them if you don't want to watch them. I'm just trying to grow my channel. Anyway, yeah, but trading, frustrating today. That's the bottom line for me. I'm going to definitely go make a drink and reassess my days trading and kind of look over my trades and what I should have done differently. I try to do that, you know, every day that I have a red day. Try to go back through and assess what I'm doing wrong and what I should have done differently. In this case, there's a lot of things to assess. But unless you guys have anything else to talk about, I don't know about other stocks that were hot today. I was kind of just focused on this one and that other one that I traded were the main ones I watched. Whatever the name of that was. ACRS, yeah. That's another frustrating thing. That ACRS trade would have worked. Now over here on the 1 minute on GRTS, we're coming to that the 50 moving average, kind of walking along that, and it's kind of like a head and shoulders, so I almost bet that it's going to drop big here. But CMEG closes trading at 4:30 my time, and it's almost 4 my time right now, so that's another downside, is that I definitely don't want to be holding a short overnight if I did short this. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that either. Anyway, so I guess that's all I got. Just a frustrating day. Don't even don't feel like chatting a whole lot today. You guys know how it is when you have a frustrating day, a big red day. You just kind of want to reevaluate what you did wrong and deal with it. And then tomorrow's a new day, and hopefully tomorrow I can bounce back and make up a bunch of those losses from today and get back where I was, get back on track. Red days are what they are. I mean, you're bound to have a red day. 21 green days was a pretty good streak. I was bound to have a red day sooner or later. I just wish I would have kept it a smaller red day. That's the worst part about it. So, but it is what it is. You got GRTS at 12 out of 18. Nice trade. That's what I should have been doing. I should have been looking long on this thing. I mean, I don't know why. I guess it was because the news is, in my opinion, from what I've seen of it, and I didn't dig into it very deep, but from what I've seen of it, it just looks like all they did was announce that they're going to keep working on their COVID-19 vaccine. Well, obviously, good for you. That doesn't seem like amazing news to me. So I guess that's why I was thinking short, is that it was up so much on the day, and the news seemed a little bit fluffy. So in my thoughts, it's going to come back down. Going to be a good chance for a short, and I should have been thinking long, as it. I mean, right here, it did come down a little bit farther than I would have liked to see in a long scenario, but as it broke that high of day and then held that trend line right there, that should have been a spot to go long. I should have been going long right there in the 15s, not looking to be shorting in the 19s. So, made first $25 today in the market. Burgers and fries on me. That is awesome. Yeah. I would love to trade you spots. I'd love to have a $25 green day today. Tomorrow will be brighter, Timinia says. I like it. I was watching YouTuber short it, and he keeps going. He was down 12K. Huh? That's me. That's me, Mike, only I'm not trading with that much size. I just kept shorting it. I think there's a lot of people like me, and the fact that it was easy to borrow, I used to have a theory that if I could borrow a stock, if I could short it and borrow it on E-Trade, then I shouldn't. I should be going long on it, because E-Trade just doesn't have shares to short on like hardly any of the low float stocks or any of the momentum plays that are really moving. And so I used to have this theory that if I could short it on E-Trade, then I would not do that. I would go long, just because I figured if E-Trade had shares, then probably a lot of people did, and there'd be a ton of shorts trapped. And I think that is the case a lot of the time. So I don't know. Inauguration is going to be crazy tomorrow. It's like a war zone down there. Everything I see on the news is just, it's craziness. No matter what news you watch, left wing, right wing, whatever, it's craziness. I think that the market very well could be all over the place tomorrow. We'll have to see. I don't even know what to predict. It did. Today it was getting kind of choppy into the end of the day, looking like it was going to sell off, but then it's kind of recovered after hours. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Let's look at the daily chart. Yeah, so on the daily chart, we did manage to be green today, but it's getting right up in that area of consolidation. So I don't know. If I'm just looking at this chart, I would tend to be bearish a little bit, but you never know. That inauguration could really go a lot of different ways. There could be some craziness there. I'd be looking for stocks like DGLY or things that might have some kind of play that moves whenever there's craziness in the streets. because it's a very real possibility. Although they have like blocked off everything around the Capitol building for a long ways, and they're taking a lot of precautions, but still, could be craziness. I don't know. But I'm going to get off of here and, well, hold on a second. We got a thing from Ian here. Can you do a quick tutorial on setting up OCO orders correctly for options? I don't know how to do that, honestly. I had a lot of trouble figuring the numbers correctly for each trade to accept it. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't do options, and I don't even do... I know that you... Let me see. You're talking about conditional orders. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something I really do. I typically just scalp and day trade, so I don't know much about it. Sorry, my friend. I would help you if I could, but I don't know much about it. Any of that. Not much about options or the conditional orders or any of that. Hopefully there's something on YouTube, though, that can help you. YouTube is my friend. They've taught me a lot. I've learned a lot on YouTube watching different people and Googling things. So you can probably find somebody smart about it that knows things.
To find info about something, just ask. You can say something
my phone's
like,
listening to
how long
me.
is the Amazon River? Or, tell me about butterflies.
My phone's talking to me because it heard me. I definitely will. I will not. I have no intentions of really doing much with options unless I can feel like I master day trading. Which before today, I thought I was on the right track, but you know, today definitely feels like a setback. So, yeah, probably won't be attempting any new skills until I get back on track. And I was thinking about scaling. I guess you could say today that I traded a little bit bigger because I don't typically take 250 shares of $20 stocks, but you know, sometimes I do. It just depends. Hey, that's it. It happens. It's definitely a learning process. I'm still learning and still losing money, obviously. So it is what it is. But tomorrow's a new day, and hopefully we all make a bunch of money tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will talk to you tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have well, you guys, I guess, probably didn't have that bad of a day, but I hope to have a better day trading tomorrow and be coming in with some more green numbers instead of red numbers. Yeah, Tasty's good. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you so much for stopping by and the support. I'm going to go fix myself a drink. Peace.